Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Now, I want you to turn your minds back a couple of months ago. Okay, remember those 184 black students who were brought back from China to South Africa with a huge amount of noise and celebration? You know, the repatriation of the young black students was something to behold. Even Ramaphosa went out there and met with them. Remember that? That happened a couple of months ago. Well, I'm going to tell you a tale of two cities, or two communities. When it comes to the black community, the red carpet is laid down. Okay, when it comes to the white community, not so much. But we'll get to that in a moment. Let's talk about how much it costs taxpayers to cater for these 184 young black students that were so celebrated for that 14-day quarantine period in a top tourist destination. No Groblersdal dump for these guys. No, they're obviously the sons and daughters of members of parliament, weren't they? Yeah, well, let me tell you, let me unpack this. Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize has said taxpayers paid 11.2 million rand for the 184 South Africans repatriated from China and accommodated for 14 days at Protea Hotel Ranch Resort in Limpopo. Wow, that's some kind of a holiday, I tell you. The amount formed part of 87.3 million rands of goods and services procured without following normal tender processes due to the outbreak of the pandemic. Mkhize revealed this in a reply written to parliamentary questions from DA MP Philippus van Staden, who had asked about details of tenders connected to the COVID-19 pandemic that the department had awarded. In his written response, Mkhize said, no tenders related to the COVID-19 pandemic were awarded, but goods and services were acquired. He said deviations were made from standards of supply chain management, not for tenders, as no tenders were awarded, but for goods and services acquired. He named nine goods and services procured for 87.3 million rand. This is what you call looking after your ANC mates, okay? One of these was for the accommodation of South Africans repatriated from China. Protea Hotel Ranch Resort at 11,256,000 rand for accommodation to persons repatriated from China, as well as the support team involved in the repatriation under quarantine for 14 days, Mkhize said. Details of other expenditure. Yellow Technical Services received 10.5 million for the supply, delivery, installation and commissioning of 8 static scanners and 91 handheld scanners at various ports of entry. My First Aid obtained 1.3 million rand for the supply of personal protective equipment. And so it goes on, and so it goes on. I mean, these are all BEE companies that have benefited handsomely out of the Ministry of Health under Zweli Mkhize. Now, let me tell you the other side of the coin. This is where it gets really interesting, because I get emails pretty well every day from South Africans stuck in places like Egypt, Sydney, Australia, in Europe, stuck in South America, stuck in the United States of America. There's one common denominator with all these South Africans stuck away from home, who can't get home because of the coronavirus lockdown. Let's call this. Now, the Democratic Alliance has written to the Minister of Public Enterprise and International Relations and Cooperation, Pravin Gordhan and Naledi Pandor, to request clarity on allegations that South African authorities are refusing landing rights to international airlines that are repatriating South African citizens. Guess why? Yeah. South Africans who have been stranded abroad were finally and with great relief set to return home today from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, on a KLM Royal Dutch Airline flight TB8701. However, they have been informed that the flight is not cleared to land in South Africa. We have also received reports that 2 Ethiopian airline flights have not been allowed to take off to land in South Africa due to not being given the necessary permission. The theory being bandied about is that South African authorities have allegedly unilaterally decided that the bankrupt South African Airways should be given preference for international flights repatriating citizens to South Africa. As a consequence, there are reports that foreign airlines that are transporting South Africans home may be refused landing rights in South Africa this weekend. This could potentially create a knock-on effect for foreign citizens currently in South Africa who want to return to their home countries. The DA questions why South African citizens abroad are being abandoned in favor of what seems to be an attempt to give a monopoly status to the South African Airways vanity project, as well as a likely lucrative agency contract with a well-connected cadre. Call the backdoor stuff, you know, all that money shooting off to some well-connected mate. That's what's going on. The DA submitted written parliamentary questions to South African Airways to obtain full details of its repatriation flights during the COVID-19 pandemic. The replies to these questions have not been received despite the deadline for the submission of the replies to Parliament having passed. Well, South African Airways is known for doing things very late. Consider its books 2 years overdue before it went into liquidation. Crazy. Rumours are rife that massive funds being paid for South African Airways repatriation flights, and that much of the funds do not get to South African Airways. Why are we surprised? Really, why are we surprised? It is alleged that the citizen repatriation flights may have become a lucrative operation for middle persons. Instead of the revenue derived from these flights being paid directly to South African Airways, the payments apparently get channeled through DIRCO, D-I-R-C-O. The Democratic Alliance seeks clarity on these allegations, as it is inconceivable that the government would risk the interests of our people in order to once again benefit the pockets of ANC cadres. Well, it's not inconceivable. It's a reality of South Africa. You can't make this shit up. Oh, talking about that. Fee, thank you so much. My new Pogma Horn badge arrived. And for all those ANC cadres on the tape, guess what they can do? They can Pogma Horn. Alright guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video, please share this video, and above all, please stay safe.